So hey Lawn Care Nation, I've been telling you guys for the last few years about how much I love my ECHO SRM-2620T string trimmer and just how reliable it's been for me. I've been using this string trimmer now for 2 solid years with zero maintenance. Well, we're here at the end of the 2020 season, and the reliability part of it came to an end this week. Now, I don't think it's anything major, but it just shows the durability of these machines running for 2 years straight with zero maintenance at all, without changing spark plugs, no oil filters, air filters, and without doing anything other than adding red armor to the fuel system. And this past week, we happened to be on the last cuts of the season. I was doing literally like the second last house that I needed to do with it, did the trimming. It started to sound like it was running a little bit slower. It sounded really muffled sounding, didn't have any power. The trimmer head wasn't spinning, and it got progressively worse as I continued on that specific lawn. I turned off the trimmer and it was smoking coming out of the muffler area. So I suspect that it's actually just a dirty screen in the muffler system, because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like it was starving, like it wasn't getting any air or allowing any exhaust out. So we're gonna check that out first and see what the issue is. So I'm gonna start it up first before we dive into it and see how it's running today. You can hear it's not running properly. A little bit of exhaust coming out. You hear it's like really bogged down sounding. So as you heard there, it's definitely struggling. You can hear it completely bogging down when I give it any throttle. And when I put my hand behind the exhaust, I can feel some exhaust coming out, but it's not to the rate that you would expect the exhaust coming out. So let's dive into it and check out and see if that screen is clogged. On these Echos, there's a couple screws. There's one on the inside here and one on the front. They're the Torx bits. So you're going to need a Torx 25 bit to get these off. And this cover should just flip up and come off. It's just hooked at the top there. So you can see there's 5 screws there holding that on. So it's the same Torx 25 bit. Just work your way around. So you can see as I loosen that there, the last screw, it starts to come apart. The exhaust is there. This piece comes off. It looks like just some sort of a baffle. Then you've got some sort of like a gasket, heat shield type material with a small hole, and that's where the exhaust is actually coming through. And then right behind that is the actual screen there. So hopefully you guys can see that on camera. So you can see that there, the screen there. So the exhaust is actually only coming out of that hole there. So you can see just how clogged that screen is. As I move that over, you start to see the light pass through. As I move the screen over, it gets blocked. There's only a few holes left there. Now let me slide the screen up and you can see that the rest of the screen is actually clean. So on this Echo one, it's actually kind of neat because they're only using this little outlet hole, but they give you this whole big screen. So you could, in fact, if you didn't want to clean this one, you could probably just flip it over and use the back side of it or the bottom half of it and have a clean screen there. But on some models like Steels and stuff like that, you can't do that. It's the entire screen that is being used, and there's no way to reposition it. So you have to clean them. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so before we actually clean the screen, one thing you can do to test out your theory is, of course, start the trimmer without the screen in place. So let's see if we can do that while it's on the stand. So you can see right there that that was absolutely the problem. Completely running differently now. You can hear the RPMs. It's not bogging down. So it was just a clogged screen. Very simple fix, as I suspected. So let's move on to the actual screen cleaning. So to clean the screen there, try to keep it against the floor there so you can see it better. You can use just like a stiff bristle brush. A metal wire brush would be great. I don't have one at the moment, but you can just try to clean off as much as you can there using a stiff brush. But a lot of that carbon and buildup is going to be actually inside that screen mesh. So the best way to handle that is to actually burn it off. So to burn it off, what I like to do is just to take a pair of like vice grip type pliers, grab on to the edge of the screen there, just to make it easier to hold. And then you're going to need something that outputs a blue type flame, like a butane torch or so. So I'm just using like these barbecue type lighters, but one of these, I'll show you when you go to light it, is just like a regular flame. This one here has a more intense flame. It's hard to see on camera there, but it's almost an entirely blue flame, and that's what you need. And just put it in front of the flame. What you want to do is burn off all that carbon. Until you get that screen glowing red or orange. And just keep heating it, going over it, letting the metal get to that really hot. You start to see those little, almost like embers coming off. That's the carbon being burned off. I'll just go over the rest of the screen since I've got it. You can see just how clean the screen is now. No carbon. You can see carbon deposits here on the bottom half. So I'm just gonna clean the other side since I've got it here. I might as well. So you want to try and get as much of that blue flame into the screen. That's the hottest part of the flame. You can see the carbon just kind of burning off in those embers. So there you go. You can literally see how clean that screen is. You can see right through it. See the stars tires there in the background, right through the screen. Nothing blocking it now. Okay, so now we will get the whole thing back together. So you can see the screen is all clean here. So we'll just place our screen on top. That way I don't have to try to balance it. Like that. Take our other little piece there, line up the screw holes, top there, and then take our exhaust port piece, and put that on top. Then we're just going to take our screws and tighten them to get them started. Just give them a little tighten, not over tighten them. You don't want to strip them, of course. Okay, so now that we have the screen in, I'm just going to start it up again. And just make sure that with the screen installed, that it's still running just as we expect it to. Definitely feel the exhaust now. So yeah, absolutely fixed our problem. So just a simple screen, exhaust screen cleaning, or a spark arrestor screen as they're also known. So then the last step is to just put the cover back on. So that of course just clips on the top portion. So there you have it, Lawn Care Nation. Just a simple exhaust screen or spark arrestor screen cleaning was all that was needed to get this ECHO SRM-2620T restored back to full power. Just absolutely love these machines. Such a basic two-stroke design, not really much in the way or to go wrong with these machines. Just super ultra reliable. Like I said, I've been using it every day as my main machine for 2 seasons now. Haven't changed a spark plug, haven't changed an air filter in it. I only use regular fuel in it. I don't use Premium or Premium Plus or anything like that, and I just use the ECHO Red Armor oil in it, and as you can see, it's just a fantastic machine. Like I said, you know, it let me down for the first time this week, but that was just because, again, a lack of maintenance, because you know, in reviewing these products, I like to do nothing to them and just see what comes up in that sort of case, if, you know, somebody were to use these every day and do nothing to them. So absolutely impressed with them. If your machines, your two-stroke machines particularly, start to give you trouble, start to bog down, one of the first things you should do is check that spark arrestor screen. Some guys like to pull them out and just leave them completely out, but of course that could pose a safety issue, especially if you're in hot, dry climates. You know, it's there for a reason. It's to prevent sparks from exiting out of that exhaust port and causing fires. So you definitely want to keep the screen in. And as you can see, just a super simple, you know, fix. 5 minutes to take it off, burn off that carbon, put it back on, and you're good as new again. So if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you regularly clean the screens on your two mix or two stroke engines for your tools that you use in your lawn care business. So that's it for this one, guys. Here's to wishing you guys all overwhelming success and freedom in your lawn care business. Bye for now.